In this video, I'm talking to Tyler Gregg from amp.io about the importance of using external advertising to drive the Amazon products rank, and also how Amazon rewards sellers who drive product sales by using non-Amazon marketing efforts. Tyler will show step by step how the AMP platform looks like for sellers who sign up to set up Google Ads with their platform, and also goes through the whole process and explains what are the most important details to pay attention to. To learn more about AMP, which is a Google Ads optimization toolkit for Amazon sellers, you can click on the links in the description. Enjoy our conversation, and if you like this content, then don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to Orange Klik YouTube channel. Hello Tyler, I'm really happy to have you here on Orange Klik channel today to talk about how Amazon sellers can set up Google Ads to drive traffic to their Amazon product listings and stores. But before we go to that topic, then could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background, and also introduce how amp.io helps Amazon sellers?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here and excited to talk about really external traffic and specifically Google Ads to Amazon. I know that a lot of sellers have been talking about it in their communities recently, and really excited to kind of bring the playbook here today. A little bit of background about me is my name is Tyler Gregg. I'm the head of operations here at Amped. I work really closely with our customers, helping sure that they understand what the journey looks like and what the path is to success on Google Ads. And I also work closely with our product team, feeding back all of our great customer feedback to help bring our product to the next level and to help our Amazon sellers get the most from external traffic. A quick background about Amped is we've actually been around for a little over 6 years now. And the first 5 years we spent building Google ad technology for D2C sellers. And in the last year or so, we pivoted that technology and started pointing it at Amazon and helping Amazon sellers tap into it. And really what kind of caused that was we saw so much success and obviously sending traffic to Google, to D2C stores. And everyone knows Google, everyone knows about the ads, right? And how profitable it is and beneficial it is. But then we thought, why don't we send that traffic to the best converting website in the world? And that's Amazon. And so we started helping Amazon sellers who had no experience sending external traffic into Amazon to tap into this new traffic source to help them diversify their marketing and to add a new channel to find new customers. We actually did this before we even had full Amazon attribution access. So we are helping sellers just drive in external traffic just to help it drive rank and organic sales. We saw so much success there. And then when we added in attribution to where we could actually really help understand what converts directly, what's the best quality traffic, the combinations of both the direct ACoS that we can deliver as well as the impact on ranking has really, really been beneficial for hundreds, thousands of sellers now, as more and more are adapting it every single day.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the intro. Yeah, I'm really excited to have you here today because everybody's kind of talking about the importance of driving like outside traffic to Amazon now, and we know Amazon also likes it a lot. So I know you have prepared some slides to go over again some main points why it's important topic today for Amazon sellers, and also you will show us like a little bit how AMP works as well. So yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so I'll just jump through a few slides of this deck. And I think this deck really does a good job of helping sellers, whether they've tried Google before and understanding how is this different, or if they've never tried Google before to understand why they need to be thinking about these external traffic sources. So Google is a huge, huge opportunity for Amazon sellers. And the reason is it provides sellers an opportunity to do things that their competition is not doing. When we think about being successful sellers on Amazon, you have to do all the basics. You have to optimize your product listing. You need to do sponsored ads. You have to pay to play now, of course, as pretty much everyone knows. But then how do you go and find another source of customers that maybe your competition isn't tapping into? And that's where Google is a huge opportunity to do things that your competition is not doing. And when we think about kind of this blue ocean opportunity, Google's the biggest wave out there because there's 5.6 billion searches per day. That's significantly more than how many searches are happening every single day on Amazon. So there's a huge, incredible opportunity. Now, the trick with Google is you have to find which of those 5.6 billion searches are looking for your products. That's the big difference between Google and Amazon. On Amazon, everything is bottom of the funnel, intent to buy search. I think there's kind of crazy stats out there. I think 30 or 40% of searches on Amazon end up converting and buying something. That's different on Google. But when you have the right data, when you have the right insight into what's working and what isn't, you can find the appropriate searches and the people that are looking for your products on Google, because it's definitely happening. And what AMP does here from a technology perspective is we help connect these two marketplaces, these two platforms. Google and Amazon can't really talk to each other due to privacy reasons, but they communicate to each other through AMP. And we kind of act as this intermediary, helping sellers understand what's working, what isn't, getting the right data and bringing it all together into one place. Now I'll share a little bit more about AMP here in a minute, but really the focus of this is Google Ads and why sellers should be seriously considering adding Google to their marketing stack. Yes, AMP is a vehicle to help you do that, so I can help you understand how to leverage it. But at the end of the day, what you need to understand is, how do you do Google the right way? And what should you look for in terms of an ROI and the impact on your business? So as I said kind of earlier, AMP actually started helping sellers tap into Google Ads before we even had attribution data. And it was all about, does external traffic actually impact rank? And we heard sellers talking about this. We heard the rumors. Amazon obviously doesn't say anything specifically about whether it does or doesn't. So we decided to test it. And our data science team went to work working with some of our beta testers to see the impact of external traffic on rank. And it was very, very conclusive that just bringing in high quality external traffic can have a pretty significant impact on ranking. We see it weighted about 30% heavier than Amazon traffic. And that can be pretty significant as you look to either launch a product or take an established product and kind of throw fuel onto the fire. So that's what we actually started with, was just measuring the impact of rank. And then AMP's brought in attribution, a full keyword level attribution to help Amazon sellers understand in one place what keywords convert, what keywords do not convert. That helps improve the quality of traffic, obviously. And about a week before we launched this attribution, Amazon announced that they were bringing out their brand referral bonus program. And the brand referral bonus program, for any sellers who don't know what that is Amazon paying 10% back of all sales that come from external traffic, giving you, the seller, a 10% kickback. So if you bring in $1,000 of revenue in May, Amazon pays you $100 in cash. And that's pretty significant. As Amazon gives rank rewards, it's free for them to give, right? But for them to actually incentivize sellers with cash, that's pretty significant and pretty telling on just how much Amazon wants their sellers to go out and get external traffic and how much they care. So it worked out pretty well with our product launch, because it was a nice little bonus, nice little added incentive for sellers to give it a try and to test it and get serious about Google Ads. Now, the bullet point here that I always try to highlight when talking to sellers who haven't tried Google before is the ability for Google to offer quality traffic and inexpensive traffic as they expand their real estate. I'm just going to jump through some slides here to find the one that I want, but this is awesome example of just why Amazon sellers need to try Google. And the reason is, on Google, if you search iPhone 12 case, oftentimes it'll be different depending on where you're searching from and time of day. But oftentimes Amazon themselves, they pay for this ad. So Amazon built this ad themselves, and they buy this click at 13 cents per click. And they bring it to a search result page on Amazon where they resell that traffic on these sponsored ads for 98 cents per click. So when you think about that, it's kind of crazy, because Amazon's walking away with a pretty penny. They're arbitraging it and taking that difference, but then also that traffic's converting, and then they're getting their seller fees on top of that already. So what this tells us, though, is if you're an Amazon seller, instead of sitting on your heels and kind of waiting for Amazon to bring you this traffic, what if you had the way to go out and put your product front and center right here? And when someone searches iPhone 12 case, they don't click on Amazon's ad, they click on your ad. And instead of coming to a search result page, they go straight to your product listing page and bypass your competition, or you can even send them to your Amazon storefront where there's no competition at all. Now, this is really exciting for us because it shows that for the right products, for the right industries, not only can you get high quality traffic, but you can get it for less expensive clicks. And we all know that Amazon ads have been drastically increasing in cost per clicks in the last year or two. Google, it has come up a little bit, but the average cost per click on Google is around 50 or 60 cents. I know on Amazon, you guys are pretty accustomed to paying a lot more than that. That's the average price. So we'll see clicks, down in this 13-cent range, 20-cent, 30-cent. Just depends on your product, just depends on the industry, depends on the quality of ad that you're able to create. But when done correctly, you can find less expensive traffic and you can get it to convert really efficiently. Now, what AMP does here is we're the fastest, simplest, and most effective way to harness the power of Google to improve your Amazon rank and drive sales. So what our technology does is we're tapped into Google, we're tapped into Amazon, and we bring all that data together into our platform so you can see the whole picture in one place and you get full keyword level visibility. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second, but it's so important to understand what the technology is doing to help you. Yes, you can use manual Amazon attribution, which is a program through Amazon, which allows you to go into Amazon, create an attribution tag, go into Google, create a Google campaign, and put that attribution tag on that Google. And then you can look in Google at cost clicks, and then you can look in Amazon at revenue and conversions. Possible, definitely not fun to do since you're going to be bouncing around different platforms. But what that doesn't give you is it doesn't give you keyword level conversions. And what that means is when you build a Google ad campaign, you're going to put 15, 20 keywords in there. And it's very, very important to understand which keywords convert, which ones don't. If you do manual attribution, you only get campaign level data. So what AMP does is we automatically create these attribution tags. It's one click easy. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is let our technology build and implement the tags for you. Very easy to do. And then we provide that keyword level visibility so you can understand not only just the campaign level, but what keywords work, what ones don't. The second thing that our technology does really well is we do attributions across ASINs. And this is something that's really powerful for sellers that are looking to build their brand and expand further than just moving products. And what this means is if you create a campaign for product A, someone clicks on that campaign, clicks on that ad, comes in, but they find a different product from your brand, AMP is going to be able to show you that they bought that other product. So if they come in on product A, but they buy product B or product C or product Z, we see that, credit it to the original campaign, and make sure that you get this brand referral attribution bonus. So all of this is automated, gives you the visibility you need, and it makes sure that you're getting your 10% kickback. So the keyword level conversion data, I'm just going to jump through some slides here. This is what it looks like. So this is the AMP platform. There's a screenshot from one of our accounts where you have impressions, clicks, and costs at a campaign level up here. And you have conversions and revenue from Amazon right here. And then we calculate your A costs. Now, if you're doing manual attribution, you could get this and you could stitch it back together. But what you would be stuck with is you would be stuck with 134% AA cost. AA cost is your actual A cost when we actually factor in your brand referral bonus kickback. So you might, as a seller, you might go, hey, 134% is okay. It's new, it's net new revenue, it's conversions I want to get. We're helping with that flywheel. Every Amazon seller knows the more sales you get from paid search, the more organic sales you get as well. But a lot of sellers would probably look at that and say, hey, you know what? 134% A cost is not very exciting. I'm losing money on that. And you might just walk away and say, hey, that doesn't work for me. But what AMP shows is the keywords. And this is the important part because this data reveals that there's actually efficient keywords here, 34%, 46% that are productive, but most of the budget, $100, has gone into this inefficient keyword. So because this seller is using AMP, they get this keyword level data automatically, and they can now pause this keyword and force more of the budget into these higher efficient keywords and making sure that they're getting better efficiency, better quality traffic, bigger impact on rank, and better direct conversions. Another example here, 114% AA costs, but look at all these keywords that have 2, 3, 4, 9, 17%. Look at these costs per click, 16 cents, 25 cents, 24 cents, right? But what's happening is you're not getting enough budget into these keywords. It's only gotten 4 clicks and $1, $2, $1. And most of the budget's going into keywords that just aren't as efficient. But because AMP shows you this data, now you have the power, you have the visibility, you can make data-driven decisions to force more budget into these keywords, and hopefully they'll continue to convert at the same efficiency. Now, that's what the keyword level data looks like. Now, the attribution across ASIN is something that I get really, really excited about. When I think about helping sellers, I really want to help sellers not just move products, but actually build their brands. And personally, where I see Amazon sellers going, based on what I see Amazon giving as features and tools for sellers, is it's all about brand building. The brand referral bonus. It's not the affiliate bonus. It's not the seller's bonus. It's the brand referral bonus. We see other features coming out that Amazon's giving to sellers. They're trying to get everyone to be brand registered. And when you send traffic with an AMP campaign, this is what it looks like. When someone searches scented candles, it looks like an Amazon campaign. It literally says Amazon.com, but this is actually the seller. They built this AMP campaign right here, and it sends traffic to their product listing page. This works really, really well from a ranking perspective. You can definitely get good conversions here. But all you're doing here is you're just selling more products. One of the things that I recommend a lot of our sellers to explore is Storefronts. I'm going to find my page here. Here we go, is Amazon Storefronts. So instead of sending traffic to a product listing where your competition is everywhere, you can send traffic to your Amazon Storefront page. If you build it out right to be transactional, you have your add to carts. Now, all of a sudden, a seller is coming to your branded Amazon store. You're leading with your brand. You're building that consumer credibility, but then you're also selling more products. And we see pages like this convert 2 to 3 times more efficiently than a product listing page. So you'll see it in the data. You'll probably make more money using these pages. But now people are understanding your brand. They're not just buying from Amazon. They're buying from you on Amazon. And I think that's going to be such a big component for sellers in the next year or two as these storefront pages become a bigger part of selling on Amazon. But then also, I don't have it here, but a lot of our sellers that use this as a strategy, they'll put a little arrow up here in their banner that points to the follow button, and they can actually start growing their follower base. Now, when you get followers, I think I've got a slide here. Here it is. So you have a little follow us to the arrow. And when you get followers, you can send them with Amazon templated emails, a message that looks like this. It's from a brand you follow, helps with product launches, helps with selling more products. Now, my understanding in talking to our Amazon sellers is this templated email is a little bit kind of in its infancy stage. It's a newer product, a newer feature that Amazon's provided for brand registered sellers. My understanding is that they're not high converting quite yet. Amazon's kind of still working some kinks out, but a lot of our bigger sellers, the way they think about this is, yes, absolutely, let's grow our follower base. If we can get some more sales to these now, great. But 6 months, 12 months from now, when Amazon's really worked out this feature, if we have 100,000, thousands of sellers that follow our account, we're way ahead of the game. We've got this pool of followers that we can start marketing to, sending content to, and upselling and reselling and all that. So it's a little bit like Subscribe and Save, to where they like your brand, they follow you. Now you can push them new product launches and everything. So this is something that I get really excited about. My background is in D2C, so Shopify, BigCommerce, those types of websites, to where it's all about your brand. It's all about collecting the consumer's information and then remarketing them. This is kind of the first indication that Amazon's kind of going down that road and allowing you to do that. So I get really excited about the ability for sellers to build a brand using features like this. This is what the AMP platform looks like. When a seller signs up with AMP, it's self-serve, so it's super easy to use. We do have a done-for-you service. We do have agency partners that we can connect sellers with, but we also try to do everything we can to empower sellers to do this themselves. And what happens here is, first thing you do is you connect your Amazon Ads account. It's a simple sign into your Amazon Ads account, and we automatically make the connection for you. Then the next step is connect to your Google Ads account. And then when you connect to your Google Ads account, if you have an active one, super easy to connect to. If you don't have a Google Ads account, you can create one through our system. We make it really easy to do. And you get an up to a $500 ad credit for your first Google ad account. The way this works is it's spend 500, get 500 in the first 60 days. So you do need to get started, start spending, start your campaigns, but then you get 500 back, which is really, it's the right way to do it. You're not going to spend $100 and see immediate success if you've never spent on Google before. You are going to have a testing phase. You are going to need to learn a little bit. And this credit works really well, because if you spend $500, you're probably going to start seeing signs of traction. You're going to start to see what's working, what isn't. And then that 500 free credit that Google then gives you allows you to get over that hump. And then, you know, month 2 and 3, you should be on a pretty good course if your products are suited for Google, if you've been optimizing them in the right way, which we do everything we can to help you understand how to think about it. Now, once you've done this, you're ready to create the ad here. And what AMP does is we walk you through that creation here. I'm just going to switch to another tab. And just for example, I'm going to show you how to create a campaign for this product. This is just a random product off of Amazon. It's a large ice cube tray. So you make ice cubes with this. And I'll show you what this looks like in our platform. All you do is you drop in the ASIN right here. AMP's going to pull the product listing just to confirm that this is the right ASIN. I know some sellers have thousands of ASINs, a big catalog, some have less, but just making sure that this is the right product. And we can see here, this is the large ice cube tray. So I'll hit next here. And now we're going to set up attribution. If you are an Amazon brand registered seller in markets where attribution is available, which is North America, Europe, I believe Japan's coming soon. I think Mexico is coming soon as well. You'll automatically get attribution. So you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is confirm that you want it enabled. And then AMP is going to take care of all the tagging, all the tracking, everything that you need, you're going to get. So we'll hit next here. Part of what external traffic does is it does impact ranking. So what AMP does is we do rank tracking on 3 search terms. You can see search term ideas from Amazon, and you can just pick 3 of these search terms. Now, AMP does not do anything to manipulate rank on these 3 search terms. We simply provide visibility and tracking. So you can see, you know, did they start at 100 and now they're at 50? They started at 75, now they're at 25. We do line charts over time so you can see that. Again, we're completely white hat. We're partnered directly with Amazon. So we don't do anything gray hat. We definitely don't do anything black hat, nothing that's even questionably against TOS. So we're not rank manipulating. We're just tracking and providing visibility. We know a lot of Amazon sellers have other tools that they use to track a large swath of different search terms. So definitely encourage everyone to do that if they have those tools already. This is definitely a nice addition to be able to see these. Now we're going to start building the ad. In this case, AMP sees that this product's being sold in the US marketplace. I'm located in the US, so that was the marketplace that I would buy on. But any other market you can geo-target. So if you're selling in Germany and this ASIN is listed on the German marketplace, AMP is going to identify that and immediately start targeting the German marketplace. So that part's super easy to do. The next step is keywords. Now, this is an area where we invest a lot of time in training our sellers of how to think about keywords. So if you get started with AMPs, make sure you check out our training on what makes a solid keyword. I also host weekly onboarding sessions where I go through this live with sellers to kind of train you guys how to think about the difference between Google and Amazon. High level here for today, the big difference is Amazon, you can do keywords at any stage of the funnel. Whereas on Google, you have to pick bottom of the funnel keywords. A great example would be a product like this on Amazon. You could probably bid on keywords like Father's Day gifts, and those might convert well on Google where someone searches on Amazon. Sorry, it might convert well on Amazon. Someone searches on Amazon.com, Father's Day gifts, they can scroll through all the pictures and then they can find this whiskey large ice cube tray maker and they can buy it. On Google, that's way too high up the funnel because someone searching on Google hasn't told Google what kind of gift that they want. So we always recommend staying away from keywords like that, but instead using AMP's recommendations and finding keywords that are very specific to this product. So in this case, ice ball tray Amazon. That is a very, very specific keyword for this product. Amazon ice cube trays with lids. This has a lid on it. This is exactly what someone searches this on Google. This is exactly what they're thinking about. Ice cube maker, Amazon. Clear ice molds, Amazon. This isn't really clear since this is a black lid, so I would stay away from a keyword like that. Round ice cube mold, Amazon. That could not get any more specific. So those are really good keywords. They're very product specific, and you'll notice that a lot of them have Amazon in them. This is something that we noticed pretty early on, where consumers will go to Google, and instead of going to Google and typing Amazon.com, pulling up Amazon.com and then doing their search, they'll just search Google for Amazon. And I'm guilty of it myself. I'm a little bit lazy as a consumer, but I actually go to Google and I say, hey, I want a round ice cube mold on Amazon. And these keywords tend to be less expensive because there's less competition bidding on them. Think about, something like this: Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, Walmart. None of those bigger companies would ever bid on a keyword like this because the consumer is telling Google, I want to buy it on Amazon. And when they tell Google they want to buy it on Amazon, that indicates they probably have Prime, they probably have their credit card saved, they want it in 2 days, and you're so much lower down the funnel, and there's so much more buying intent on these keywords. So we always recommend, if you can find these Amazon related keywords, definitely add them because they work really, really well. Now, the next step and the last step here is building ad copy. Again, this is something that we teach pretty extensively, but because this is something that you don't really have to do on Amazon, which is the ad copy component, we make it really easy in the app, and then we try to teach you how to do it as well. But there's some cool tricks here. In this case, you want to be very specific on this top headline. This headline is always going to be shown in the #1 spot here. You can see best silicone ice cube balls, Amazon. That stays, whereas these other headlines are rotating through and they're automatically A/B testing. The campaign is smart. So it does smart bidding, but it also does smart A/B testing to figure out which combination of these headlines produces the best results. So as you put in these headlines here, you want to be as specific as possible. And what happens here is you can do things like best silicone ice cube balls. You can't do that when you're on Amazon because that best is a trigger word. On Google, you're able to do that. And what's awesome about this is because this looks like an Amazon ad, it literally, like, a consumer sees this and they think, okay, Amazon has a lot of different products, but this is their best silicone ice ball maker. And then the traffic goes straight to the product listing, which is a really awesome way to do this. And then as we go through here, we can see headline suggestions where AMP surfaces some. We recommend using some of these. Don't just click all of them just because they're there. The way you want to think about ad copy is you want it to be as qualifying as possible. So these ads, they don't come with images associated with them. So you need to do your job as a marketer to help the consumer visualize the product. So here I just gave a few examples. Comes with a lid to help the consumer understand that these are ice cube balls and they come with a lid. They're not going to be as messy, or they're not going to spill as much. Large round ice spheres. So describing that these are spheres, they're large, and obviously they're round. And then down here, we get a little bit more space to work with. These headlines, you get 30 characters. Down here, you get 90. So you want to write in more complete sentences, take up as much space as possible. You can see it up here. And again, describing the product. So right here, I said, you get 6 2.5-inch large round spheres with a hard bottom tray and a lid to avoid spills. So when a consumer reads this, they can start to picture what this product looks like. If they were looking for, 100 ice cube makers, they know that this is a six pack, so they're probably not going to click on the ad. If they're looking for small ice cubes or like crushed ice kind of stuff, they're going to see this and say, oh, these are 2.5-inch large round spheres, and they're not going to click your ad. Now, this is something that it's kind of an interesting habit we see sellers do, to where they start building ad copy and it's marketing copy. So they try to really sell the product. This is the best product you'll ever have. Buy today, shop online, all those stuff. That's not how to think about this. What you want to do is you want to use the keywords in the ad copy to qualify the traffic. And then once it's qualified, now use your product listing page, your Amazon storefront page, to sell the traffic and convince them to buy. So you're not trying to get them to buy right here. You're just trying to make sure that your product matches what they're looking for. And if you can do that right, all of a sudden your conversion rates are going to be really, really strong on the back end. So that's how to think about ad copy. We go over that in a lot of detail when you're onboarding with AMPed, and we have a lot of resources to help you think through that. So that's the high level, but it's definitely important to kind of know going in. That's definitely different than Amazon, but when done right, there's a huge, huge opportunity. Last step here is setting your budget. What's great about Google is usually you can start really small, and we always recommend sellers start, $15 a day budget. Kind of keep it small, dip your toes into the water, see what works, see what doesn't. The reason we recommend $15 a day is because that's going to give you enough data over the first 30 to 45 days to understand, okay, what's working and what isn't working. You need critical mass. You need enough data to start to see the trends, start to see where you can double down on. If you try to do $5 a day or even $10 a day, that's fine. It's just what happens is you're going to have to test for 3 months to actually start to see what's working. You have to buy the data. If this is your first time advertising on Google or your first time advertising on Google with full keyword level data, you just have to buy the data to see what works. There's no other way to do it. So what's great though is $15 a day for 30 to 45 days should do the trick, should give you enough insight, enough data to really understand the trends. Now, the last step here is just confirm that everything looks good. I've got attribution tracking turned on. My ad looks pretty solid. There's no spelling errors that I see, no grammar errors. Obviously, check that out. Consumer confidence. If you have a bad ad, if you have bad ad copy, bad grammar and all that, you're losing consumer credibility. So make sure that all looks good. Confirm the keywords are very targeted and product specific. One thing here, last thing I'll kind of point out on keywords is we recommend 10 to 20 keywords in each campaign. Personally, I recommend on the lower end of that. What happens is if you do 50 or 100 keywords and you just throw them all in there, you get data dilution. So if your $15 a day budget is spread across 100 keywords over 30 days, each keyword's only going to get a few clicks. And if you only get a few clicks, you don't have that critical mass to understand, will this convert or will it not? So I recommend less keywords, push as much budget into those keywords as possible. You're going to learn a lot faster and start to understand what works. And then we're good to go. We launched this ad here, and it's going to immediately push it to Google for approval. And then it should start showing up within a couple hours on Google. It's going to be difficult for you to actually, go find that ad in the wild yourself. Google shows the ad to different people at different times of the day based on a variety of factors. Sometimes you can find your ad for sure, but once you launch the ad here, you'll start to see it showing up in AMPed, and you'll be able to start to see the data showing up in the next couple of days. So that's how to build a campaign with AMPed. Pretty straightforward, but we do, again, have a ton of training to help sellers kind of get going on Google because it is different. We totally get that, and we try to do everything we can to help along that journey.
Okay, thank you so much, Tyler. It was so interesting to see and have a peek inside of AMPed, like how it actually works, because it's easy like to say, yeah, it's super easy. It only takes, I think your website promises 8 minutes to set up AMPed or to set up the first ads, or how is it? What was the promise exactly?
Yeah, I think we have it at 8. I mean, to be honest, your first ad takes a little bit longer, which is probably around the 8-minute mark. And then once you've set up your first one, you know what you're doing. I mean, I can do an ad in about 15 seconds, but I've done a lot of them. So as you get rolling, as you kind of understand how to think about it, it is pretty straightforward. And Google Ads is great, but it's kind of a mess. There's just so much going on. And one of the things too that's kind of unfortunate is Google Ads doesn't understand Google to Amazon. And so what happens is if you go into the Google Ads interface and you try to do this, Google is going to provide all these recommendations of put on conversion tracking, try this automated bidding strategy. And these different recommendations that work well for D2C don't work well for Amazon. And so I can't tell you how many times to where I'll see an ad or a campaign where Google's telling the seller, hey, you need to put conversion tracking on your website. And it's like, well, attribution, you can't put a conversion tracking pixel on Amazon.com. And you can't do that. You can do it on your own website. So what we've done with Amped is we've tried to simplify and take all the good things from Google, put it into a simpler UI, but give you a one-track path to creating a really good ad, and just avoid all the frills and all the fluff that Google Ads provides.
Okay, very good. So I have one question about, let's say, the initial campaign sellers can grade for the product. So I think you mentioned and covered a little bit how many keywords you would recommend to add to one campaign, but what about the number of campaigns? Should they just grade one when they first start out, or are there like different types campaigns they should launch at the same time, which perhaps have different goals?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked this. So there's a few things that we always suggest. One is we try to do keyword groups, and keyword groups similar to how you would do it on Amazon, where you have multiple campaigns. Each campaign has its own kind of type of keyword. What we recommend is, when appropriate, do that with this. So if I'm doing like an iPhone case, something simple, having one campaign that is keywords like iPhone case, black iPhone case, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, whatever we're on these days, that's your keyword, that's your campaign one. And then create a second campaign targeting the same product that has all those Amazon related keywords: iPhone case, Amazon; iPhone 11 case, Amazon; black iPhone case, Amazon. The reason we recommend that is the keywords that have Amazon in them usually are lower volume, but higher intent. So you'll probably have a better ACoS on those ones, but not enough volume. So when you have two different when you have all the keywords grouped into one campaign, the higher volume keywords get all the budget. So if iPhone case is being searched 1 million times a month on Google, whereas iPhone case Amazon is being searched 10,000 times, that Amazon keyword is not going to get much budget. So when you separate them into keyword groups, it gives you, the seller, and you, the marketer, more control over where your budget's going and forcing budget into the right areas that you want to test. And then, so that's keyword groupings. But then when you have catalogs that have a lot of products, what we recommend is starting with 3 to 5 products. So at least building out campaigns for 3 to 5. The reason we recommend that is not every product is suited well for Google. And we would hate for a seller to try one product, give it one chance, and have that product just not be suited well. Cost per click's too high. People just aren't searching the right way on Google for it, whatever reason. But when you can kind of test multiple things, 3 to 5, you're likely going to find a product or 2 or 3 that are really efficient, that you can scale, that you can market really well. So we try to recommend, take a couple different shots, see what works. And if you try 5 products and 2 of them fail and flop and don't work, but 3 work, move that budget into those 3, start scaling them. And that's where you can really start to make money. And then if you have catalogs that have tens and thousands of SKUs, at the end of the day, you're likely not going to have a single campaign for every single product. What's really great about the way we set up attribution is, as I said earlier, you can do Amazon storefront campaigns. So that picture that I showed of the Yankee candle, right? Like, they don't need to do a single campaign for every scent of candles. When someone asks Google for scented candles, send them to a category page with a bunch of different scented candles, and they can pick which kind they want. So we recommend that too. If you're a bigger seller, if you have a lot of different products, have your Amazon storefront set up with different categories and send the traffic there.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for this advice. And now I do have a question about the storefront pages as well. I'm glad you brought that up because I already had that in my mind. So let's say when, for example, this candles example as well. So if the ad would drive traffic to the storefront page, should sellers make like a separate, let's say, landing page? And is there anything specific they should definitely include that storefront page to where they are sending the traffic?
Yeah. And so when we think about a Google campaign, there's 3 components that make a really productive campaign. 1 is keywords, 2 is ad copy, and 3 is landing page experience. Now, with our history, and we would send traffic to D2C stores, we can do the ad side really, really well. But if you have a bad landing page, the campaign is not going to convert. Now, with product listing pages, you're very handcuffed by what you can put on that page. Oftentimes that page is optimized for SEO and not really for external traffic. Now with Amazon storefronts, you have this huge opportunity to customize this landing page experience and to set it up so that it's ready to accept external traffic. Now, but this is what we recommend. This kind of the format and the template that we recommend is, first off, you got the little follow us arrow here. This is a product. It's silk pillowcases. It's like a very good quality silk. And when someone Googles silk pillowcases or silk pillowcases Amazon, you send them here. And first off, you're leading with your brand. So all of a sudden you're kind of getting over that. Who's selling me this product? Is this a good quality product? Is this just a cheap product? Because you're showing your brand off and you're building that consumer confidence. The second thing is this is an individual product. It's not a category. It's an individual product. And so you feature this product front and center, and it literally just pulls from your product listing page. And this is a template from Amazon. It's just called a featured product section in your Amazon storefront, and it automatically pulls your product listing. Now, what's great about this is it basically looks like your product listing page, except there's no competition within sight. So that funnel is a lot more secure. There's less holes in it, and there's less leaking. Now, what happens here is there is a coupon on this product. So if there's a coupon on the product, there is not an add to cart button, and someone will have to go to the product listing to apply the coupon and buy it. If you don't have a coupon, this add to cart button will immediately show, and someone can buy it straight from your storefront. Now, a consumer, the buying experience is they come here. If they like the product, they're ready to buy it, they can buy it. If they're not quite convinced yet, now they scroll down, and now you start selling. Now you start convincing them that this is the product for them. You start explaining your products. You start kind of alleviating any concerns, 30-day money back guarantee. And what's great about this is basically just your A+ content, except instead of your A+ content being buried below all the competition, you've brought it up to the top of the page and you're highlighting it. You're building that consumer confidence, and then you got your videos here. And if they want to buy it, you got your call to action, buy now buttons. And they can keep scrolling until you run out of content, right? And what I really like about this, and something I don't see a lot of sellers do, is a lot of times we'll see images and they'll link out to product listing pages. But what you can do with Amazon storefronts is, you see I clicked that, it linked right back to the top. It kept that consumer right here in the storefront page. And it does a great job of keeping them insulated and avoiding any of the competition coming in trying to steal your traffic.
Okay, what a great example. Thank you so much for sharing your screen again and really going that through. I think it will be super helpful for Amazon to understand how to work with the storefront pages as well. Okay,
Yep.
Great, Tyler. I enjoyed the session very much. Before we go, could you once more explain how amp.io helps Amazon sellers with setting up Google Ads and managing them, and how you can help them?
Definitely. Yeah. So in summary, Amped is the go-to solution for Amazon sellers to promote and advertise their products on Google Ads, bring that traffic into Amazon with full keyword level attribution, providing full visibility into what works, what does not work. And we built out full training courses to help Amazon sellers test, improve, and scale Google Ads to Amazon, to do things their competition isn't doing, and to not only move more products, but actually really grow their brand with external traffic. And I think one of the things, one of our sellers was explaining this to us just last week, is yes, there's the impact that external traffic has on ranking. Yes, it can drive new sales, but it's so important for him and other sellers to diversify their marketing. A lot of sellers only spend on sponsored ads, or only maybe starting on DSP now. But how do you take your marketing budget, put it into different channels, and have all of it working together to grow your brand and move more product? And if you want to get started, you can go to amped.io. That's ampd.io. And it's self-serve. If you want, you can create your campaigns and get started yourself. We do have a done for you service as well, to where it's not a full service agency, but we will take your ASINs, we will build your campaigns, we will optimize your campaigns, and you have full access to the dashboard to see what's working. We don't do like monthly stand-ups or monthly calls or anything like that, but definitely check with your agency as well if they might be able to do it for you. We have a lot of agency partners that have gone through specific AMP training that can help you as well. So if your agency can't handle it, great. If they can't, let us know and we can do it for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Tyler, and I really hope to see you soon again.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this video and learned how AMPT can help you to quickly set up Google Ads and manage them effectively to drive traffic to your Amazon product pages and storefronts. From the video description, you will find information and contact details about AMPT, so if you would like to use their platform to easily set up and manage Google Ads, you can go there and learn more about it. And now I would like to invite you to watch another video we recorded with Brandon Nutter from ampt.io, where he goes into details why Google is the second most valuable advertising channel for Amazon sellers, and how you as an Amazon seller can dominate the competition by directing external traffic to your products.